Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, where we unlock the power within and navigate the journey of your self-discovery together. I'm Shaz, your spiritual mentor and life coach, here to help you tap into your inner guidance system and manifest your best life. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or looking to deepen your practice, this podcast offers insights, techniques, and inspiration to elevate your consciousness and transform your reality. Get ready to shine your light and embrace your true potential. Remember, the answers are inside you. Let me be your guide on earth. Welcome back to the Spiritual Awakening podcast with Shaz. Today I want to talk about something that too many people don't like to acknowledge, and it really upsets the apple cart when you confront someone that is so solid in their belief or their own trauma, problems, pain, or the situation that they're living in their life. And that's they all think they're either blocked or stuck and that nothing's working for them. They will tell you straight up, they've tried everything. They are not open to suggestion. They have it fixated that nothing is going to fix their problem. And that's where we become actually addicted to our problems. Everyone thinks addiction is just about drugs or alcohol, gambling, or big things that we can see. But we can become addicted to patterns, to people in our life that are bad for us, and to struggle. I never wanted to face it. I was like that many years ago, where I thought the world would just be problematic. I could not find ease in any way, shape, or form. Ease was not the way that the world had to be. This was before I learned about manifesting, truly understood about spiritual healing, and did not in any way, shape, or form take responsibility for who I am, what the world is, and what I was doing to create it. At that stage, I didn't want a solution. The struggle was just normal for me. And we create normalcy where things are hard and where problems occur simply because it makes us feel seen, it makes us feel acknowledged, and people pay attention to us. This is where you're seeking validation and understanding for it, or even empathy or sympathy. It's a mentality, and I don't like to use the word, but it's a victim mentality where we want other people to fix things for us. Now, when my life fell apart back in 2017 and I lost everything and had to start again, I was not going to do any of this. I was not going to become what I've become. I didn't want to heal. I had had enough. I just wanted to stay exactly where I was. And it wasn't until I watched a podcast by a beautiful woman called Lisa Nichols, and her words were, "You are your own rescue." And it shifted something so dramatically within me that it changed my whole life. And this was the place where I started to climb back. I'd been told for months that I was strong, I would get through this, that it would be okay. But I wasn't able to hear it back then. I was too broken. Now, sometimes we get in phases of life where that's perfectly normal. And you can stay there for months and maybe a year, 18 months. But many people like to stay there for 5, 10 years, 20 years. They become addicted to the problems in their life and the cycles that they're in, and believe nothing and no one is going to fix anything because they're always looking for solutions outside of themselves. They want someone to tell them that what they're going through makes sense, that it's meant to be that way, that there's nothing they can do about it. And there's nothing wrong with that to a point, but when you stay there too long, when you stay in your problem too long, you then turn it into identity. Now, identity changes every week, sort of thing. You can grow and become so much more than who you are right now, and that is the evolution of life. That is what we're meant to do. But too many of us want to stay stuck. And this can be in pain, this can be in problems. And throughout my life, I've learned that when I get pain and things turn up, that I don't have to own it. You just have to learn to process it. This past week, I've had very bad pain through my right thumb down my wrist. And for a couple of days, I couldn't really use it. I couldn't grip anything. I couldn't do much with it. And the natural thing is to want to complain about it. I'll have to go and get tests, make excuses as to what's going on with it. When all it literally needed was some rest, some time to process. So I went back to my core healing aspects. I looked up in my favorite book, which is The Secret Language of Your Body, what the thumb and the wrist meant. And I analyzed in my life, where were those emotions sitting within me? I questioned my own identity. I questioned my own healing. Did I want to give this power over me, or did I want to take control back? Sometimes we just need rest to recover. Sometimes we need different viewpoints to recover. Part of what I had to learn was letting go of frustration, not allowing it to control me like it had been for a couple of weeks, where I'd get frustrated at every little thing. That frustration wouldn't last long because I don't allow myself to sit in it, but I still allow myself to get there. And this is the point I want to make today. We allow things to happen to us when the world is actually created by us. Do I know exactly how I created this or what it was for? No, I don't. I think I might have hit it because I have a bruise on it. I could have done anything to it. But it wasn't the important part being what I did to create this. The important factor was, what did I do with the knowledge of what it was telling me, and how did I move through that cycle in order to become more, to grow, to evolve, to sit with myself and to learn about my inner identity. The first core truth that most people don't ever want to hear is you cannot solve a problem when you're emotionally attached to it. Now, when I read a lot of what's going on in there, I can remember back 15 years ago when if you told me all of those things, I'd just get angrier. I would deny that they existed because I was so emotionally attached to my problems. So I hear everyone who's going through it. I understand it completely, but it's not where you have to stay. The moment it goes away, you become a different person. Now, this is especially true for people going through grief and loss and real deep hardship. Losing my twins was one of the deepest, hardest things that I ever went through. And that was pretty bad. But for me, the worst thing that happened to me was when I had to have my fibroid out and I lost my uterus because it lost any chance of having those children that I wanted so desperately. I became a whole different person. And back in 2013, for months and months, I was depressed. I was sad. I was so upset. I didn't know who I was. And I was suffering because I was in pain. The surgery was quite traumatic. I nearly died in it. In the past 2 years before that, I had like 6 near-death experiences. There was a massive shift in who I was. But losing that uterus literally changed me. Now, any person going through cancer or bad disease, losing anything, whether it's a body part, a limb, part of your mind, or a person, a pet, losing something so valuable in your life literally changes you. You are no longer the same person you were before it happened. You're a whole different identity after it happened. This becomes archetypes and tags and labels that we like to put on ourselves. I'm not a fan of all the labels of ADD, ADHD, the autism spectrum, and depression and anxiety. All of these to me are labels which underlie behaviors, problems, and emotional things. Yesterday I was watching a video and I'm like, oh my God, that explains it so clearly for me. A lot of people that have ADD created it in the womb because their parents had trouble pregnancies, they were fighting in their life, and the soul, the baby, become oversensitive to everything. And they were always on guard. They were always overwhelmed and anxious. They'd already been through a lot before they were even born. This was true for me. In the womb, it was quite well known that I wasn't wanted in this world, but I still chose to come. I overcome so many different obstacles in life, lack of understanding, being told that I wasn't wanted, but all of that didn't actually change who I am on the inside. And we do choose identities that feel safe. Different archetypes in our lives that make us feel important or wanted. And sometimes those identities hurt us. I know women especially, because it is my core audience, and I'm not discounting that men go through it, because I know that they do, and I've met a few that have been there. But they can get into relationships or be in domestic violence situations or bad marriages and things, and they feel that they can't escape because they don't plan on doing it. It gets really uncomfortable to decide that you are the person in control. You created the situation that you're in. You chose to go through this. Your soul wanted to go through this in order to experience whatever lessons it chose to experience. We go back to the same issues and we repeat those patterns when we don't get it right the first time. Most people refuse to sit in discomfort. They will choose what they consider ease over anything else. So if you're saying to yourself, I've tried this and it didn't work, well, try it again, because it can work in a different way. Or that doesn't work for me. Your language, your understanding of it, the decisions that you're making based on what you think won't work for you and other people's opinions or suggestions are just more burdens on top of you, is part of the problem in itself. You don't need to go back into the same issue, stay in the same story, because they always end up in the same place. This is where you feel that you're stuck. You're not actually stuck at all. You're repeating cycles. And when you don't learn those lessons and truly understand who you are, claim your identity, and become who you're meant to become, you go and choose it once again. I had to look at my life and my relationships with people, friendships and lovers and everything, and rediscover why they never worked out, why people came in and out of my life constantly. And it wasn't them that was the problem, that was projection. It was me. It didn't make me weak. They were just familiar. My body, myself, my whole essence just knew how to be in that situation. We'd mastered the class, but we stayed there. And our nervous system found peace within it. And it's really hard to see people suffering with pains and aches and diseases and problems and bad relationships and work relationships and staying, because it feels familiar, because it's comfortable. Your nervous system does not care about happiness. It cares about what it knows. So moving through these problems is really uncomfortable. This is why most people stay in jobs that they hate, because heaven forbid they should try and find something that's aligned to them, that makes them happy, that brings them joy. So many people don't sit well in joy. They don't sit well in ease. When struggle is all your body knows, when struggle is all the mind knows, it will keep recreating it. It will keep you thinking about it. It will roll over in the mind over and over and over again, and it pulls you back and sucks you in, not to hurt you, but actually to protect you. Most people can't understand that. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you anything less. It is a protection mechanism. And the nervous system keeps us where we are. It's safety, it's security. It's what it knows. Our biggest fear in life is literally of the unknown. But the unknown doesn't have to be so scary because we've survived everything already. And if you can survive something so hard, you can certainly thrive through something that's easy, that's joyful, that's loving. But we never give ourselves permission to. This is where you have to go into deep self-reflection. Be honest with yourself. Ask yourself the following questions. Do you talk about the same problem over and over? And do you keep saying to yourself, no, I've tried that, it doesn't work. No, I did that, it doesn't work. Oh, I can't do that, that's not within me. And do you dismiss other people's perspectives and opinions because you know it all? It's like going to seek advice and getting the most valuable advice that you can, just a slight tweak, and then not acting on it because simply, I've already done that. This is where you set yourself up for failure because you believe it won't work. You need to have that spark of hope, that little bit of trust that something different can actually make a huge change and beauty in your life if you let it. I remember many years ago, one of the biggest lessons in life I had to learn was about kindness. And I may have spoke about this in the podcast before. It literally broke me because it was so uncomfortable, because I was so not used to it. I was used to people treating me like garbage. I was used to horrid things, of saying terrible things. I was so aware of it and so closed off to it at the same time that it was like water off a duck's back. It was just known and accepted to me. Even to this day, I get feedback from clients and I get beautiful messages from my dear friends and uplifting things. And they make me tear up because it's an actual felt emotion. Kind acts make me feel so beautiful inside, but I cry for it. I literally go looking for kind stories each and every day to feel that emotion because it is so blissful. I can't explain it in any way other than that. It makes me feel totally alive. And that expression of tears is beauty in itself because they're not painful, they're joyful. A lot of us feel very uncomfortable when things start to get better, very uncomfortable with someone helping us. We don't seek help. We want to do it all ourselves. I will go and ask for help and then we just go do what we know to be the way. We don't attempt or try new things. Every single day I try something new, I learn something new, and I test and measure it before I share it with other people. Be open to suggestion. Be aware that other things can help you. I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook and there's a lot of women out there, especially because most of them are women's groups. Sorry to all the men listening, but that's where most of the problems that come to me for help come from. And they're always saying, I have this problem and this is going on, this happened, and or the classic ones, am I the arsehole for whatever's happening in life? And I offer suggestions and they're spiritual healing, emotional based, this problem. The good classic, I have anxiety and this isn't working. Well, have you tried EFT? Oh no, I can't do that. That won't work. I need to get medicated. I need to go and see a psychiatrist to get a label for my problem. That is sitting in it. That is owning it. That is staying safe within yourself. When I offer EFT scripts, I know how powerful they are as we work through the points and you're telling them the phrases and you can see viscerally in their body the reaction they are having to the statements that are said. It moves energy outside of you if you give it permission. But many people don't want to actually fix their problems. They just want justification for it. I'm never saying your pain isn't real. I've been there. I suffer pain often. But you don't have to keep suffering. This world is not here for us to suffer through. It is here for us to grow and evolve through. It happens by us. by our thoughts, by our feelings, our actions, our behaviors, our routines, our rituals. We are the master creator of the world around us. You are where you are because that's where you're meant to be, but we're not meant to stay. I'm never dismissing what anyone has been through or how much it impacts you, because I know it did. I lived it. I know how much trauma impacted me. You can hear it in my voice right now. I know that it actually has a massive impact. But I do tell you to leave your traumas behind. You defeated them and slayed those dragons. Leave them dead. Stop carrying them with you. Stop holding onto them so tightly, because all that will happen is you will attract someone again to repeat that cycle for you, to take you through it once more. At some point in your life, healing asks you to move. It asks you to be different. Even when it's unfamiliar and uncomfortable, it is healing. Emotional release is highly uncomfortable. The energy that has to get out, it makes a physical gap within the body, and then you have to refill it. This is all about making you aware of what's going on in your mind, in your body, in your life. I'm not here to shame anyone or put you down for what you're going through. I'm here to help you notice and highlight what's going on and start asking new questions. And this one, when I asked it of myself, hit me the hardest, of what would I do or who would I be if I wasn't this version of me? I had no idea, because I was at one stage addicted to all my trauma, all the blame, all the problems, all my anger. Anger felt homely. It felt natural. And nowadays, anger only comes up for me when someone's disrespecting me. And even then, I don't get angry anymore. I just notice it, and it shows me who I want in my life and who I don't. I also had to ask myself, what actions or what areas of my life was I avoiding? What problems was I refusing to see? What aspects of self was I unwilling to change? And then another deep one is, what am I actually getting by staying here? What won't I get if I move? Sometimes we want sympathy and empathy. Sometimes we want codependence. Sometimes we want other people checking in on us and nurturing us through and doing things for us. It is really hard at times to realize that we are the problem, no one else. You are the person that has to change. You are the person that has to make the actions, the decisions, the choices. No one else can do it for you. You're not broken. You're just stuck in a pattern. And believe me, patterns and behaviors can change. Most people don't want to. Create new routines, create new rituals, create better options for yourself. It's hard work. I know it is. I've been there. I've done it. I continue to do it. This is not something that I think about is over and done with. I'm faced with problems like this all the time. And I'm forever evolving within myself, because I deserve the effort that I give. I am worthy of becoming everything I desire. But you can only do that when you're willing to let go of the version of you that's holding on to the problem. And trust me, many times we're not willing to let that go. But you really do deserve it. You deserve ease, comfort, beauty, passion, love, joy, happiness. You deserve all the great things in life. give yourself permission to do it. If this episode has hit you, I really want to hear from you. Are you ready to let go of what's holding you back? Are you ready to cut the cord to the boulder that you're carrying around and leave all your problems at the door? Or are you still holding on to them? It takes true honesty for you to understand it. You're not broken. You just have to remember who you are. I had to remember when Lisa said, "You are your own rescue. Nobody else is coming to save you." Change my world. You can do it too. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook with the links below. Until next time, trust your intuition and let your spirit soar.